The ice is gonna break.
Oh, my heart is beating like crazy. You want to know why? It's another Reactaholics episode. What is up, everyone? It's your good people. And as you see right now, we are short a couple members. But it's okay. Right here, you got me. I'm just Ron. And my partner in crime on the other side of the world.
Yes,
Mr. Scotswizard
you got
himself.
me, and you got my partner in crime, Cornan, the barbarian pink unicorn, and you got his partner in crime, Animal 2.0.
Hi there. How's it going, everybody? I'm so glad to be on this podcast for the first time. I mean, if you can invite his friends, why can't Scotswizard invite his friends?
That is true. You know, and I'm glad to have you all with us because we got some good things to talk about, even though we short, but it's going to be a good one. So, without further ado, let's show it off with the trends of the week. As y'all know, during the Grammys, they dropped a little gift for us because there's something we've been begging for last time we saw the Aladdin teaser trailer, is that we wanted to see what the genie was going to look like. We got our wish. And it's less to be said that the fans and the people on the Twitterverse may have not been too pleased. Mr. Scotswizard, what do you think about it?
Well, it's Will Smith. What did you expect?
I expected Robin Williams' face. Robin Williams' face. I assumed since they brought James L. Jones back for Mufasa, I assumed that would, I don't know, make Will Smith look like Robin Williams. It makes sense. Because no one can replace the genie. Nobody. Not even Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well said. Well said.
Oh, my heart. You should have seen my face after I saw it, because everything else, I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the music. I'm feeling the atmosphere. I'm even feeling this.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
And yet, it felt like a car screeching at the end of a highway when Will popped up and just going like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" Just seeing his back and seeing his head not meet the body of his whole connection. Oh no! Oh no!
I mean, the very least they could do was have Will Smith in that costume we saw him in behind the scenes, as if he was in human form or something, and at least paint him blue. I mean, I know it looks ridiculous, but hey-ho, I think a more theatrical approach would have been more, acceptable.
And that's the thing, this is the same company that gave us Thanos not so long ago in Infinity War. And then we go to this. But... We go to this. Are you telling me that there's not enough in the budget to make Will look at least presentable?
It's very clear that this studio is not the same one that made The Jungle Book, i.e. not the same one that made Avatar. The same people that work with James Cameron with the Battle Angel.
Well, they are separate studios. You are right. And I guess each department get different style of money. I guess it just shows that maybe our expectations of to what Genie should look like isn't meeting reality. But that's the question I have, though. Should we lower our expectations? Because these live-action films have always been either a hit and miss. More misses than hits. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
Should we just be like, you know what? Exactly. Should we just sit back and be like, let's wait. Let's wait and see before we crucify poor Will Smith. I'm going to try. I will. I'm still going to see it. And I am going to just sit back and say, you know what? Let's see where it goes. Because you can't do that to a film. You can't. Because who knows? Will could actually be really great.
Dang, have you forsaken me?
But even during the darkest of times, there's a little light that shines in the clouds. And I think Disney saw this, so they dropped us a little apology gift. And they gave us Frozen 2 trailer.
I was frozen today.
Could you believe it? Who knew that the one film that we didn't know we wanted was Frozen 2? And they gave us so much, and yet they didn't give us nothing to be spoiled about.
That is a good trailer.
Are you kidding me? Like, that was so sweet. Like, the opening shot of just the ocean, like, it looks, you forget that it's animated. Like, it's insane. And to think about it, it's been 6 years. It's been 6 years since Frozen actually came out.
Wow, that was only into high school, really?
I kid you not. It's been 6 years. If you're gonna count the little mini specials they've had, we've not had a Frozen movie since then, and now we're gonna get one in November.
Huh. You'd think by now we'd be going, but we've gotten past that phase. We've gotten out of that Frozen craze from 6 years ago.
Oh, you couldn't get away with it, whether it be on the radio or on the
No, it was everywhere. It was on wallpapers, it was on posters, it was on cars, it was in subs. Wherever you went, there was no escape from let it go, let it go. Oh, it was a nightmare. But people started shutting up about it when Zootopia came along.
And that's a topic for another day. Oh, that movie right there. But who knew? Who knew that after all the uproar from Aladdin, we transitioned to Frozen 2, and I heard nothing but praise and happiness. It's like that Aladdin trailer never happened. Like, it just never came to be.
Let it blow, let it blow. Will Smith never bothered me anyway.
So then I ask you, for what this trailer gave us, what do you expect in the movie? Like, because I honestly have no idea where they're going. You see a new girl. You see them definitely in a new land. Where in the world are they taking us this time?
A shout out to the Real Projects or the Real Rejects for making that joke about Will Smith never bothered me anyway. Anyway, my thoughts on Frozen 2. Yeah, looking at it, yeah, the sea does look gorgeous, and I do want to swim in it like Elsa's doing. So, from the looks of it, kind of odd that Frozen, you know, the things that freeze like ice, igloos, and penguin men and ice would be set in autumn or fall. It'd be kind of strange, but they're not showing too much, so it could be the frosty coming in sort of artistic theme or something like that. But either way, I'm intrigued with Elsa expanding on her abilities. I mean, for all I know, she could easily just make a huge ice bridge across the sea, but she's trying something new. She's gonna surf the waves by making Frozone paths and then trying to dive through the waves, just go surfing with the ice, and hopefully nothing too severe will happen. Kids with ice powers, do not try this at home.
that ice skating thing she did that went that Frozone way. Oh, that looks so sick. Oh my goodness.
Just goes to show Disney is taking all the hints from Pixar.
And it's like, that's what I love though still about animation, because think about it. We had some with Live, and people were criticizing from left to right, and yet Frozen trailer that gave us so much inside of it of just straight animation, and yet everyone loved it. I love that. I love how still animation can just, you know, blow your mind and just take you in, and you don't question it. You just get sucked in the moment. And that's the beauty of animation.
See, animation is an art form, not just something for kids.
Say it loud in the back. Say it loud in the back, sir. Yes.
Animation is an art form.
So, with all of that, dare I ask you, from just these trailers, are you more excited to see Frozen over Aladdin? Or are you just like, no, I don't need to see that Frozen crud. Give me that blue genie. Give me that.
That depends on whether you're sick and tired of CGI Blue Man, Prince of Bel-Air, or you're sick and tired of Frozenitis.
That's true. What will break? Will nostalgia come through, or will people say, "Nah, I want to see what the Queen of the Ice is going to show us in Frozen 2," or because we definitely need to get a new "Let It Go" song that's going to be stuck in all our heads before the year's over.
Okay, I pray to God they don't sing "Let It Go" again in the cycle.
I mean, yeah, it's a good song, but I mean, if they do sing it, then at least don't bombard the media with that song.
I give so much respect to those musicians because good luck trying to top "Let It Go." I wish you luck because that took on its own road and became something like a juggernaut. So good luck topping that.
I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. I mean, with Adina Menzel, you're guaranteed to have a big musical moment. It's gonna happen.
That's 100% true. But see, now when we just talked about something one negative, a lot more negative with Aladdin. Then we moved to something so positive with Frozen 2. Now, this is straight up going to be in the middle. That's been going on for not only a week, but has been going on since basically the last couple of trailers have dropped for it. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, as we know, the last stop for the big end game for Avengers. So, and we know that Captain Marvel is going to play a humongous part in that movie. But apparently, a lot of people are going split down the middle about how they feel about the film in general. Some fans don't like how the way it's been sold, how it's been presented from Brie Larson and the marketing team of a lot of more feminine positivity, more how, like commercials like saying her, the hero of Brie Larson in some interviews talking about how she wants more diversity in the media. She wants more feminine positivity. And yet, a lot of people are getting turned off.
What's wrong with that?
That's the question I want to know. Because a lot of, and I'm going to straight out say it, there's been a lot of dudes who've been crying a lot and saying, how dare you tell me how a hero should be? How dare you go at me and say and it's driving me nuts. And to this day, I'm trying to figure out why in the world do you guys care that she either smiles or not? We've watched so many superhero movies. That's the one complaint I've never heard before.
Smiling?
Every time. In all of her trailers, people are like, oh, she's not smiling enough. Oh, she's not funny enough. Oh, that's such a turnoff. I don't want to watch this. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, maybe they're just so used to the Marvel formula.
Crack a joke or some kind. Say something when you're not like Tony Stark from them old days from a decade ago.
Because, like, it's like saying that after you saw the Civil War trailer, or the Winter Soldier trailer, or the Infinity War trailer, the majority of people didn't smile. A lot of them were depressed. A lot of them were stressed out. No one complained about smiling. And is it fair? because this is Marvel's first female solo movie. This is their first one. So, is it fair that this film is getting, to me, the most pushback than any other Marvel film so far?
Well, if you want to make a difference, you gotta push some boundaries. That's what I learned from Jesus Christ, and he's a hero. It
puts a sad groan on my face, man, because Brie Larson, you could tell that she likes this. You could tell that she's really going out. Like, she's really trying to get into this position. But this quote-unquote, pushback from the fans, it's still, to me, it's unfair and I think uncalled for. Because in the end, they're saying, I'll skip this movie all in general because, I want to go straight to the end game. And yet, I look at them and I tell them, guys, we're introducing this character. Why did Nick Fury call her before he got banished? We're introducing new villains. I think it's called the Skrulls. And they might play a huger part down the road. This is building blocks for the chapters after Endgame. So you have to check this out. You have to. Maybe that's just me talking. I don't know.
Pardon me for a second. He keeps talking on. Hello? Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's not fair.
Oh, thank you.
I do feel that
here is a scone for everybody to open wide, Ron. Freshly baked scone. Yum, 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 yum.
Oh, that's tasty right there. That's some good stuff right there. Mm.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
Pass that off to the trolls on the internet. I think that's why they're so angry. I think they need some good food in their stomach. What better way?
Captain Marvel?
Yes, I said you should pass that off to the trolls on the internet who are so mad at this movie. I think to make them happy, they need some good food in their stomach.
Yeah, they need some good food. Look, I don't think better here. Have a Snickers bar.
Here, because you're being a troll. Oh yes.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
That's all we ask for, man. That's all we ask for. So, bottom line is that I know you're gonna see this, Callum, right? Are you gonna check this out?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check it out at some point.
I'm gonna check it out. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop me from seeing this. But from what I take it all, the final thing I take from all this is more just people are gonna be angry. And not everyone is going to agree on everything. You just hope that we can agree to disagree and you'll judge the film as it is when it comes out. If it's bad, all right, call it out. It's bad. But if it's good or just all right, let's be fair. Let's just say it and not hate it just to hate it.
I mean, it could have been worse, guys. It could have been a filler sequel.
That's true. I mean, hey, look, people are saying that it's not even out yet, and people are saying it's the worst Marvel film ever made. But I digress, right? Sometimes I think sometimes you just gotta turn off social media and the internet and just be like, take a day break. But with those being our trending topics of the week, I think it's time for us to have some fun and talk about some good old things to make you smile, but to acknowledge you a little bit. Callum, I know you had a good idea for the show today. Dare to explain?
Dare to explain. First of all, just need one last little joke that I forgot to do for the Marvel fans.
No. Let it out.
You serious? Okay, that's it. Some things I want to raise other than the scone. So, my topics for tonight, I thought it would be pretty good to do. Here is my topic of the evening. You ready, Bars? Yep. Okay. So, Ron, do you ever watch a movie that you think hasn't really earned enough attention or respect? Have you ever seen a movie that you, in your opinion, needed much more attention and respect and wasn't shown enough in the media today?
Oh, you know it, 100%.
All right, do tell.
Oh, please, here I go, man. I got you. All right, this one right here is something that my father showed me way back when I was a kid, and I love it to this day. The Perfect Storm. The Perfect Storm is a film about. It's set in Boston, but here's the thing: it's just simple fishermen going on their daily job of just going out, getting the fish for their market, and living a normal everyday life. You got guys who try to meet ends meet, guys who are trying to fill out child support, and just guys feeling this is the life for them. And that's just it, But with that said, the job, you see how the job is for these guys. You see the food, the fish that you go to the market every day. You wonder, how do they get this? This film shows you it, but it's so heavy. You understand the risk some of these guys take to get the big fish because it's competitive. Because if you don't get that amount to sell, you don't get paid that week. These guys some of them risk their lives going straight out into the sea. And sometimes you might get caught up in typhoons, get caught up in hurricanes, and you might not know if you're going to come back. It's real sad. It hits, it really hits home, and there's some really good stars in this. George Clooney's in this. Crud. I had his name on the tip of my tongue. Why is he slipping me on right now? Oh no. Mark Wahlberg.
That one guy.
Mark Wahlberg. He's in this.
What? No.
I kid you not. And you hear that Boston tone out. It's great. It's a great movie. I love this film. That was one of the first few times I watched this with my dad, and I was crying because my father loves fishing, and I was thinking about that. Like, my father does this stuff like that, man. I'd lose it. I lose it so much. It's heartbreaking. It's touching. It's so gripping. And I wish more people would bring it up. Does it have its problems? Yes, I'm not skeptical. There are some things that it could fix around. But it does deserve respect on it. Put respect on Perfect Storm's name. Come on, guys.
All right. Perfect Storm. If I see it in any film stores, I'll be sure to check it out, especially upon your recommendation from the childhood.
Please.
Anyway, now, speaking of films I loved watching during my childhood, here is a film that I wouldn't be surprised if any of you, even people watching this, even the people recording this right now, have never, ever, ever, ever heard of. But it is a classic, hilarious comedy film. And this film is simply called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. And it stars Steve Martin and Michael Caine. So in this film, it's set in Europe at the French Dublin or something. It's a place where rich tourists go to, basically. And Michael Caine is a con artist who will take advantage of the rich by lying to them and just playing tricks on them just to get as much money for him and his colleagues. And usually his main scheme is that sometimes he pretends he's a prince. Other times he'll just any excuse to get some dough. And they'll use any sympathetic means necessary. The humor is brilliant. But then comes a challenger who is also a con artist, played by Steve Martin from America. And he also takes advantage of rich tourists by lying to them. And Michael Caine's character, Mr. Lawrence, his name is Lawrence. Seeing how he's done this for some time, he knows that he's a con artist. Get into a few shenanigans, and then over time, through one of Lawrence's victims, Steve Martin finds out that Lawrence is also a con artist. So he comes back, and they do a few more shenanigans together until the main focus of the film, halfway there, is the fact that this town just simply isn't big enough for the two of them. So they set up a competition. They spot a soap queen, and they decide first to get $1 million out of her is the winner, and the loser leaves town.
Oh, snap.
Yes. This film is absolutely hilarious. Just the cons that they come up with, and all the ironic humor where they say something but it could be so many other things. There's a scene when Steve Martin finds that Lawrence is a con artist through one of the victims who said, "Hey, I saw you shaking hands with the prince." Wait, who? The prince? And then Steve Martin goes, "Oh, you mean the Prince of Omaha?" Starting to play along with it. Yes. And then Steve Martin's going, "You have done a very wonderful thing." And there's other bits of subtle humor like that, and some brilliant humor like that. There's, before their competition, there's one trick that the two of them team up together for this one woman. Lawrence, being his prince character, is tricking this woman, and he pretends he has a brother named Ruprecht, who Steve Martin is being. Except Steve Martin plays it like he's a complete disabled lunatic who just a child in a man's body. And so he's pretending that he's just doing all these silly things like and just wrecking about the place. One part where he says, "Ruprecht, what did you do when Uncle Ted was here?" Gets a glove and then just scream out, "No, Ruprecht. After that, we apologize." And then Ruprecht gets even funnier. There's one bit where he goes, just purposely being silly, "Ruprecht, stop it. And there's another scene where Steve Martin, in his Ruprecht act, is eating applesauce, and he's got a cork on his fork. And then the lady guy's going, why has he got a cork on his fork? To prevent him from stabbing himself in the eye. And then he says, "Excuse me, sir. May I attend the bathroom, please?" "Certainly." Steve Martin goes,
"Oh. Uh-oh.
Thank you."
Oh my gosh.
And so it gets even funnier during when the two of them are trying to get $1 million out of the lady. Steve Martin steps up his game by pretending he's a soldier who's stuck on a wheelchair. Just getting the most sympathy out of her, and they eventually get her a doctor who is Lawrence. Lawrence is pretending to be this doctor from another country. Much to Steve Martin's surprise, he's like, "Oh, okay." And the two of them are playing along. They can't give anything away, but they're still in a competition. There's one bit where he's going to test how much his legs hurt, but obviously his legs are fine. So Lawrence, being the doctor character, gets this long blade of grass, and goes up to Steve Martin. "Tell me, does this hurt?" Steve Martin. Wait, does this hurt? No. And then just gets a run up. "Does this hurt?" Steve Martin.
No. Oh, gosh.
And then, all right, we will give him the ultimate treatment. Steve Martin. "Oh, doctor, he's so happy, he's crying."
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious.
It gets getting up more and more hilarious and more ridiculous. It's a brilliant film. And there's also this one line that I absolutely love. Without giving too much away, there's one bit where Steve Martin manages to trick some Boy Scout, some Navy boys into kidnapping Lawrence, only for him to eventually come back later on, again in his doctor character. He's going, I think this man is really starting to make miracles. And then Steve Martin goes, I'm beginning to believe it too.
Aww. Oh man.
That Lawrence somehow managed to get out of being kidnapped.
Oh man! Man!
It's
got a lot of things to unpack in there.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Also, there's Ian McDermott is in it. Yes, the Star Wars Emperor, and he is Lawrence's butler.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow! You gotta be kidding me.
If I haven't convinced you already, I could go on and on about all day about why this is such.
No, I can't have you spoil too much for me. Okay, and for everybody who wants to check it out, you can't do that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm raising awareness as much as I want. This has not got much attention until now.
Oh my goodness! You know what though? Now that you gave everyone the good news about it, it's up to them to put the effort now and check it out.
Yes, that and Perfect Storm.
Oh,
Yo, Chris, have you got a film that you think deserves more attention?
Not
a long pause, and then just a droop going, wow. Audience, you are going to call us crazy. You're going to think we have this little voice in our little world. But it's just our director, Chris. He has this clever function where his talking doesn't affect the podcast. So he could just rant on to his girlfriend for all we care. It wouldn't affect the podcast. You'd be hearing us going...
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
now that as y'all see, we're kind of just losing our minds right now. We want to also give you guys some shows to recommend you to watch, or shows that are coming up or have been out this week or less. You just say, look, check it out, either on Netflix, whether it be straight on Hulu, or it might be a show on your television screen that you just haven't had the time to check out yet. Callum, do you have one first, or you want me to head it out?
Television shows that deserves more attention and respect. Yeah, Tintin.
Tintin?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you've probably heard of this before, but I'm just a diehard Tintin fan, and so is my dad. So, of course, reading the comics, we also grew up with this television show, which is actually the closest thing to a faithful adaptation that you're going to get with Tintin, because it has the exact same visual style, except you get the benefit of it being animated. It copies the comics shot by shot, scene by scene, character by character, and the adventures themselves are just classic and great. It's set in Belgium. It's set in the world where you and I live in, but it's sort of cartoonish as well. It appeals to all ages in that aspect. Yeah, and also another movie that needs more attention and respect is Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson's film, which me and Neil and Mel absolutely adore. And we're still waiting on that stupid sequel. But yeah, I thought I'd raise attention to the television show because it's really good, and it copies the comics scene by scene. It's really good that way, and as well as some great voices to accompany it. Just classic. Not to mention the theme song and the classic pose of, which I don't think was in the comics, but it's become a staple for Tintin now, of him running in the spotlight with his dog Snowy. I remember as a kid, I always replicated that whenever that came on.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. There you go. See, I love what you threw at me. Now I'm gonna throw something back at you, because I know you know what I'm about to say. I know exactly. You've seen it, and you're down for this. Season 2 of this show just came out recently. I just finished it, and I hope all of y'all are gonna start watching it. And if you have, you gotta check out Season 2. And you know what I'm talking about. It's a show that mixes Game of Thrones with a little bit of Harry Potter, a little bit inside of it, in my opinion. I'm talking about The Dragon Prince. The Dragon Prince Season 2 has been out, and
there's a guy named Callum in it, and he's voiced by the guy who did Sokka.
You cannot. It's hard to not think of Sokka when he's in the character, but I'll give the character credit. He grows on you to believe him. Just give it time. But this show is so good. Like, you fall in love with the characters. And that's the most important thing. If you care about the characters, you're going to care when things happen to them, and you're going to want things to turn out good for them. The atmosphere.
Expect nothing less from the people who made Avatar.
Let me tell you something. They did a great job with this. Like, and you can tell there's a lot of heart in it. It goes on scene by scene with parts that really drive home about family, about loyalty, about betrayal, and just about doing the hardest things in life, even if you feel you can't do it. I love that. I love those messages in this. It's also very funny. Sometimes the jokes kind of last too long, and with some characters, I won't say what, but when they hit, they hit. Like I said before, Season 2 just came out, 9 episodes. Y'all gonna tell me you can't watch 9 episodes? It is good. The animation improves in the second season. I promise you. I won't lie to you. It's worth your time. Go ahead.
I've heard a lot of people complain about the style of animation. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to combine CGI and traditional animations in the similar veins to Paperman or Ronja that Goro Miyazaki created. Right. But people have been saying that it's trying too hard to replicate traditional animation, which sounds strange because there's been games like Dragon Ball Z, the latest Dragon Ball fighting game, and it perfectly captures the action-packed anime-style animation within the game. It's astounding. And it's mainly due to the way they make certain frames choppy and certain frames more fluid and energetic. I know this as an animator myself. Go check out my channel for more animation if you want. But I've heard people complain that this tries too hard to be a traditional animation because of its choppy style. I mean, I respect that they're trying, and I respect that it does improve.
Yes.
But the thing is, with Avatar and Korra, it was choppy because it's a TV show animation. They don't have a bigger budget as Disney or Ghibli or Pixar. Well, Pixar doesn't do traditional animation, but
okay.
So of course there's going to be fewer frames, but that doesn't stop them from trying their best to get as much emotion and fluid movement out from the 2D animation as possible, however choppy that may be. And here, the choppy animation in the 3D animation is much more obvious. This isn't like Spider-Verse, where the choppy animation makes it look kind of like a comic book. It looks like a student delayed his animation project for college. As good as it is.
Oh, dang it. Why? So, like, why you gonna be so mean, Cal? Why?
Animator.
That's why you're more harsh on it. I respect that. You gotta be real with it. I like that. But that's the thing too. Dragon Prince though deserves the watch eyes it's a really good show. And that's why I said I believe the animation does step up its game in the second season. And I'm going to hope that the third season is going to continue it. By the time then, we'll be like, there you go. That's where it should be. And we're so happy that it's there.
Yes.
And if you are looking for something more mysterious, and if you haven't checked it out, because I'd be upset if you didn't, check out You. What's You, you ask? I knew you were going to say that. All right. If y'all know the history of Ted Bundy, think Ted Bundy, but as a man who sells books, like a library at a bookstore. He's the nicest guy you'll see, has the most charming face, great personality, and you think, oh, I like you. What can you do to me? Be careful what you look at, people. It's true what they say. Sometimes the most evil person in the world doesn't look big and has an ugly beard. You get the most evilest person out there can have the sweetest smile and the nicest personality, and that's You. This series tackles that, and the moment the first episode hits, you're locked in. I tell you, Callum, I can tell you something. I finished that series from day one, and I finished it in less than 3 days. Only reason why I didn't finish it in 2 days because I had to work. But it's gripping. It's heart pounding. Oh man, check out You. It's on Netflix. Will not regret it. I promise you.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, I'm gonna investigate You in the Perfect Storm and some other good stuff like that, and the Dragon Prince.
Yes, please.
And you're gonna check out Diagon Scoundrels and lots and lots of Tintin.
Can't forget about Tintin. You won't let me forget about Tintin, so I won't forget about it.
Don't forget about Tintin. And don't forget about the sequel. Someone has to remind Spielberg and Serkis and Jackson to keep up.
That's 100% true. Speaking of sequels, our last bit, the last thing we can bring up to is just upcoming movies that are coming up this weekend or a week prior that you're more excited for.
Yes, Frozen 2. Wait.
Go ahead. Go.
Frozen 2. Wait a minute. Did we just do Frozen 2?
You did. I'm talking. You don't have to talk about Frozen 2. You don't have to. I'm talking about films that are coming out this week or weeks prior.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, we're talking about sequels. I want to talk about How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Yes.
Oh man! Did I tell you this one movie? Yes, Callum. Yes, I've been waiting for this. I'm so ready. I've been avoiding spoilers like the plague. I don't want to know nothing.
Yeah, of course. Of course, it hasn't been released in America yet. I've actually seen it.
You have?
Yes. You want to know something even? You want to know something even worse? My sister, who is currently in New Zealand, by the way, saw it before me. The scum! That is my sister. Saw it in New Zealand before me.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Dang it, New Zealand! Dang it, Middle Earth and your early screenings!
So, Calvin, you had the chance to see it before us over here in the States. Without spoiling it, does it end the trilogy right? Is it?
I'm going to say. I'm just going to say that I personally think that number 2 is the best one in the series. However, I'd still highly recommend seeing number 3 regardless, because there's a few things that not as impressive as the second one, in my opinion, but when you look at the circumstances that happen in the story, and when you think about the satisfying conclusion, you just think to yourself, yeah, it makes sense for all this to happen, and it's a satisfying conclusion, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you're gonna be telling me that? Okay, all right. I know it's hard. I mean, one, it's hard to make a sequel, and it's more harder to make a trilogy, especially in animated films. And you got to give DreamWorks credit that they struck lightning in a bottle with How to Train Your Dragon. Because not only has it brought out these sequels, it's brought out TV series, merchandise. It's took on a life of its own. So you got to give respect to this, because it's hard nowadays. Besides, if you're not Disney, it's hard for any other studio company to make trilogies. And I'm so happy that How to Train Your Dragon has touched so many people's hearts. And I hope it has a lasting impact, because it deserves it.
Yeah, it made my sister cry at the end without giving too much away.
Oh, don't tell us nothing, man. I want to try my own.
Someone steps on something. I spoiled something.
Don't you dare.
I have the power. Unlimited power.
That's the most people
I
die.
have so much power. I could tell you anything. I could tell the future. I am the prophecy man. I can tell you what happens if you want it. I'll tell you what happens, because certain films keep getting released in New Zealand and in the UK. So screw you, Mr. Trump. I have all the power in the universe.
But that's right there.
The future.
Right there. See, that's the love right there. That's that love for How to Train Your Dragon 3. When it comes out, I might be doing the same thing you might be doing, Cal. I might be losing my mind. I could be crying like your sister. But hopefully, what I want at the end, and what everyone else to do, is when we walk out, just sigh a happy relief that this series was worth it, and we will definitely love to go back to it again. So I can't wait for this.
Travel to the lands of Mordor in order to find the films early. Give in to the ways of Sauron. He will show you the future. He will show you all the films.
Oh my goodness, I'm already excited.
It's Mr. Trump ain't got shit compared to all the films that we have access to. I have all the power on. I can tell you anything.
Man. But
although, if I'm going to say one more thing.
Great.
When looking back at the trilogy, it's actually very similar to Kung Fu Panda in a way, because you have the first film where the main character is learning how to adapt to their certain skills and techniques. You have the second one where the stakes have been raised much, much higher, and the characters have to go through some immense emotional turmoil. And then the third one, you get an event where I don't feel like they're as challenged as much as they were in the second one, whether it be because of the villain or certain circumstances.
Careful now.
Yeah. However, it still is a satisfying conclusion, and it makes sense to happen. Without giving much away, it's very similar to Kung Fu Panda. Not a clone. Otherwise, we'd be seeing Po kicking everyone's buttocks like martial arts.
Oh gosh!
And then he justified the title of the Dragon Warrior.
Okay. Now, can we say for Callum? Can you say that for you, was this trilogy worth it? For you?
Yes, this trilogy is absolutely worth it. Although there are a few things, without giving anything away, there's a few scenes that I wish, maybe that could have gone on a bit longer. Maybe they could have raised the stakes a little bit for that one. Maybe they should have expanded upon certain things regarding that dragon or that dragon. But when I look at the film and see its message that it's trying to say, it makes sense for this villain who I think isn't as good as the second one. I'll be careful. I'll be careful.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it makes sense for hunters to go looking for dragons, and our heroes must think of a rational decision, and that is the moral of the story. I'll say no more.
God, that's all I want. That's all I want you to say. That's it. Oh, okay, good. All right, man.
Sauron, give in to the power of Sauron.
Because we are gonna be with that film right there. Callum, do you have any movie coming up this week or maybe next month you're excited for that you just are holding you're holding on until it drops?
Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. What else is coming out this year again? I need to catch up again.
But you are down for Captain Marvel. You are down.
Yeah, I'm down for Captain Marvel. Unlike anyone else who are toxic to just being what they're comfortable with. Last Jedi.
Yo, throw in that salt, Cal. Good job, brother. Good job. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But with all that said, Callum, do you have any final words for our people out here?
Do you see the image in the bottom right corner? That is some artwork that your dear friend Joker made for hopefully the next episode. And if it's not the next episode, then who knows what episode it will be?
Don't worry, y'all. We coming with that episode. I know y'all have been waiting for that one, but it's coming. We got some good topics for that one. We're gonna make sure do our best to get our people on here. But
we couldn't get Neil or Matt. Apparently, it was Neil's 21st birthday.
Neil's 21st birthday? And he didn't tell us?
No, he wanted to keep it private. I think it's because he got high. He
nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. But what we do want to say is that we want to give a special love and shout out to our people, to Mel, to our boy Neil, to Mr. John, to Steph. Y'all still here. Y'all still with the heart and soul. Care about y'all. We will be back. We promise you that. But before we go off, Cal, any last words for the people? Go ahead.
Last words to the people. Yeah. Fan bases. Step out of your comfort zones for a while. Be open to some new ideas.
I like that. I like that. Yes. And last thing I gotta say is, be kind, show love, not hate. Life's too short for all that. Shout out to the man behind all the magic, Mr. Chris. As always, that's Scotswizard right over there. I'm just Ron, guy over here. We wish you well. Be good. Peace, love, chicken grease. And we out. Reactaholics.
Don't forget to see our Marathon of Disney live action reboots.
Reactaholics out.
Signing out.